Alright, ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? Welcome back to episode number 3 of my SimAirport series, and today I don't really know what we're gonna do, to be fair. We've got one or two issues which I need to resolve. I think we need to upgrade security, and I think we need to go ahead and maybe modify this queue here for gate A1, and then I need to go ahead and expand along here a little bit more as well. Then we can maybe go ahead and get a third gate in, I hope. But it's really depending on money right now, and that is something which is a little bit tight. Have I paid back that loan yet? I haven't paid back that loan yet. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to decrease that loan right now. And with that burden off my shoulders, I can go ahead and take out more loans. But I simply don't want to, because it costs me like, what, 2,500 per day, and it's not like you're paying that back. That's just the pure interest. So that doesn't really interest me at all, so we're not going to go ahead and do that. One thing I do want to do though, is start today off with some research, because I want to go ahead and be able to start altering some of this pricing. It looks like I can already do that now, which is good. So what we're going to do is we're going to start to charge that a little bit more. So I'm going to go ahead and up things there to basically 800, which I still don't think is that high. And then that is for the runway usage income. So it's basically every time a plane uses a runway, which I assume when it lands and when it leaves, I'll get $800. And then for terminal usage income, I believe this is per passenger. So that's going to be $40 as well. So that should really go ahead and improve things, especially on a large flight. 116 people at $40 each, that's going to be 4 times the amount we originally had, because, funnily enough, we're only charging $10. So with that change, we should start to bring in money at a much faster rate. But I do want to go ahead and... is there a research type which will give me a financial report for every single day? Because that is what I would love, honestly, just so I can see, like, a proper breakdown, I guess you can see, of where everything comes from. Pricing's complete. Do I not even have that? Should I not have that by now? Heat map, no, nope, and nope. Right, that's annoying. It's definitely it's strange, because I'm looking in here, and I'm not really seeing too many more ones anyway that are geared towards finance. I believe all these ones are to do with COO, which is the operations officer, so it looks like I'm going to have to start to go for that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that for the time being, because none of that really interests me right now. We still need to go ahead and get making more money, and we evidently need to make a change in here, because even though I upgraded this queue, you can see this group of people here, not good at all. So we need to go ahead and do much better on this front. As we can see, we've got a lot of passengers right now coming through the airport, and this is our big problem as well. We need to go ahead and improve this system, because people are going to miss their flights here. You are 30, yes, you're boarding, but there's going to be quite a lot of people late, if I'm totally honest. A lot of people late, like yeah, that's going to be bad, and that has a knock-on effect. In the morning as well, I'm pretty sure the schedule's pretty tight, so I don't have a lot of leeway, so we definitely need to go ahead and change that up as well. We need to change a lot of things, but what I really want to do is I want to wait for a quieter period, because right now everything's just a little bit too busy. On the janitor front, we're doing not too bad, I would say. In general, the passenger satisfaction is good. Where we're losing out on is the needs rest parts, which is around about 70, give or take. Frustration peaks when passengers miss planes, which is understandable as well. I would be pretty mad if I missed a plane. So it's, again, and I remember Dylan talking about this, I'm very much one of these people who will go to an airport like 4 hours early. It's just I've never missed a plane. I mean, I've probably only been on less than 20 flights maybe, but like, I can imagine the hassle of just missing a plane, and just the cost as well. I don't fancy it at all, so I'm not going to go ahead and really cross that line. Right, so things are starting to get a little bit more quieter, especially in security, and this is the area which I want to go ahead and make a modification. So right now the bottleneck is with the ID stands. So what we're going to do, instead of using 2 queues, we're going to jump down to 1 queue. Then what I'm going to do is have 3 ID stands instead, and then over time we're going to go ahead and expand this whole area out anyway. Or do I want to expand this area now? That's the real question. We could actually do some of that now, to be fair, so let's go ahead and, yeah, let's start with that. So we're going to go ahead and expand you out here for, I mean, that's quite a large amount, so we'll go up to there, and that'll make the difference. So we'll do this right now. We'll go ahead and work on the expansion. So right now, again, some passengers might miss their flight, and then overnight I'm going to rearrange the queues, because the queues are honestly awful. Now the distance I've come out here, this is probably the maximum distance that I am going to, we'll dismantle that right now because that's a bit redundant, to be fair, and we can sell that for 750 bucks. Not that we're scrapping that badly, and what I mean by scrapping is, in the last episode there was times where we were literally having to try and sell pieces of fence, which you can't even get money on because I was so poor. But fortunately now I am in a bit of a better financial, and the daily income is pretty good at this stage, I would say. So, oh, it says in here. Oh, right, okay, so daily cash flow estimates. So, flight operations $150,000, which is pretty nice. Staff expenses right now are only at 11,000, and that means we make a profit of over $135,000, which excites me quite a bit. So that's good. That is very, very good, and I'm glad to see it. Now, so far, well, it's not quite the proper night time yet. It's not where the airport is, like, empty. That's when I want to pause the game. I do want to go ahead and speak about the first episode, though. I have, episode 1 went out yesterday. I'm recording this on the 12th, I think today is. So, all in all, I've not got too much feedback, but from episode 1, the feedback that was there was great, so I would like to say thank you. And remember, leave a like. It just tells me really if I'm doing stuff right or wrong. Right, so that, I believe, should be the final flight of the day. At gates, yes, these two are the final flights of the day. And I believe everybody should be good, standing in line. Holy shit. Where is everyone for this flight? Legit. Everyone's coming, but that's late. Or it's not late, actually. I mean, everyone should make it on time. I think we're all good there. Okay, there's one person, there we go, so off you go. And that is us now, so until about maybe 2 AM we have a little bit of time to go ahead and do some comprehensive planning, which is what I'm going to do. So let's go ahead and change this area up quite a bit. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and extend this area. So I want to go ahead and extend you up there quite a bit. And then I'm going to go ahead and play the game very, very slowly. I don't really know how quickly that's going to get built, but we're going to go ahead and cut back security. So long as it doesn't go past about 2 AM, then we should be fine. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and delete that. Then we're going to go ahead and... What's wrong with usage? I think that was the last plane just taking off there, so we're okay. So what I want to do now is we're going to go ahead and clear this wall here, and all of that, to be fair, because that's just going to be in the way going forwards. Then what I want to do is I want to go ahead and dismantle that, and then dismantle that. For this, I don't know, I think we're waiting on deliveries to go ahead and do the foundation extension, because the guys are prioritizing this, which is really not the priority here, it's over here. But we're creeping up to 1 o'clock, so things aren't going the best. Right, jumping into zone, let's go ahead and change this whole area here to security. Then what I want to do is, yeah, we're missing some stuff now, which makes sense. So what we're going to do is we're going to have the queue now coming along to, let me think, probably about here. So up, down, up, keep going up, down, and back up. So that's absolutely perfect. That is legit what I want. And the good thing is there's a fair amount of room here as well. I guess, well, it's not actually that large, but it will do. So I don't know if that wall's going to stay there or not. I'm going to go ahead and pause things now because this extension has been built and that was really what I was after. So let me go ahead and add in a wall, and let's add you in along there. Then as you can see, this is really how I'm filtering people down. And then we want to go ahead and clear that tiny bit there. Then we're going to add in a double door in there. So then you go along this queue here, and then you come out, and this is where things are going to get interesting. So, I want to go ahead and jump into objects. I'm going to start off with bag scanners. So I want to go ahead and rotate you and have you, like, there. Yes, probably like that. I'm just trying to think, how much room do I need? And then we'll go ahead and put another one there. So that means we've got an extra 2 bag scanners in here. And then this next part is really all about the ID stands, honestly. now I've got another idea, a better idea in fact. What I'm going to do is I'm going to jump into Foundation, and we're going to go ahead and... Where's Foundation? Oh, there you are. We're going to go ahead and extend this bit here. So I want to extend up to probably about... Or maybe just that much. Or maybe even just that. No, if we just do that, that wouldn't make a difference. What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try get an extra scanner, or not scanner, metal detector, sorry, in that gap. So that should work. And then with that done, all I need finally is ID stands. And then we should be good to go. So let me rotate you and the guard stands to the... What is that? The right. Yeah, that works out fine. So 1, 2... 3, 4. I do have room for 5 here actually. I'm not going to go ahead and do that, but they're going to get built. And the problem is the airport can't function until all this gets done, so I'm going to go ahead and speed up to ×2. We need to get an ID stand in here ASAP, which is good. So we've got 2 back in action. Then what I need to do is assign to you, and then assign this to you, and then that should work. I'm going to have to hire myself some more staff as well. Security, 1, 2, I think we need... So we've got an extra scanner, we've got 2 ID stands, and we will have an extra metal detector, but I don't think we're going to get the metal detector in, unfortunately, until tomorrow. Which kind of sucks, but that's not that bad. So with that change, we can assign you to this queue as well, and then also this ID stand to this queue as well. So that works out great. Really, really happy about that, and it's now really just the smaller details I need to deal with. Security is back in action, so we shouldn't have any problems, and as we can see, 2 o'clock, or some passengers anyway, are turning up for our 4 AM flight, which is good to see. That's one thing I hate about early morning flights, especially when I go on holiday. It seems to always be like early morning flights, and half the time they're at like, I don't even know, something like 4 AM in the morning, or maybe not 4 AM in the morning, but you have to get up at like 3 o'clock. In saying that, that is not that bad compared to what I used to do for family holidays. So my family would often go to Ireland on holiday, and in Scotland, Ireland's a separate island to... I don't know why I'm explaining this, but for those who don't know, the island of Ireland and the island of Britain, they're not attached. You need to either fly or get a boat. So we'd always, when we go on a family holiday, we'd take the boat, and the boat would be at like 5 AM, and it would be at the bottom corner of Scotland. So we'd get up at like 1 AM in the morning and start our holiday. Get on the boat for 5, be in Ireland or Northern Ireland by, about 7 AM. Then we'd drive to like 3 o'clock in the afternoon to wherever we were going, usually in the Republic of Ireland. And it was just, it was always such a stressful hoo-ha, honestly. Not gonna lie. Anyway, so enough with story time. As we can see, people are starting to use the queue, and the real hope for this is that when this area gets pretty stressful and busy, we should be able to go ahead and accommodate for everybody, and there shouldn't be a bottleneck here. That's really what I'm wanting to see. As I can see here, there's still some supplies here, and I think there's a supply under there as well. You can just see the top of a box under that ID check stand, and it's pissing me off, honestly. As you can see, people are still getting a bit bottlenecked up here. I'm not really at all sure why. I think it's because of the queue, I'm not gonna lie. So what? I can't expand the queue from that end. See, that's frustrating. That is very frustrating. So yeah, you've run over again, and... You're just boarding now, but I'm short on staff. That's the problem, there's no one there, that's a big issue. We need just a normal staff member here. So we'll go ahead and hire you. You'll not even jump on. Someone was missing there, I don't really know what happened, but... That's not good. Yeah, security's still a bottleneck, which is not good. So we need to go ahead and resolve that issue as well. This plane's big. This is 183 people. So if we can get everybody onto this, which we should be able to, as long as everyone's in the queue, but I'm not at all sure if everyone is. Now, there's going to be 1 or 2 people late again. 1, 2, and... Why did you go backwards through that queue? You missed that because of your own fault. That was so silly. Very, very strange indeed. Right, we're at, for some reason, during the day today, there's a bit of a gap, which I like, so I can go ahead and do some more better planning, I guess, around this. So, right now we've got a... Okay, so there is a big-ass gap. I think it's maybe because we raised our prices and the airline maybe pulled out. That is maybe my... yeah, so there's a big gap, which isn't a bad thing, actually, so it means I can go ahead and still make modifications without disrupting passengers. So what we're going to do is we're going to shrink this queue and go all the way back on what I did. And then using this as a marker, I want to go ahead and start the new queue, which is going to end there. Then, I think my problem was, and we're not playing this game again, was that I think the queue was facing down, but people were having to go up, and that was just causing a little bit of issues. So that's why I think going ahead and doing this is going to make all the difference. So if we do that there, then we jump in here, assign to you, jump in there, assign to you, and so on and so forth. I don't think I have to explain it that many times. Can I... Oh, that's the supplies, actually. I managed to click on it there, fortunately. So there definitely was something there. That was a food vending machine which we missed out. And yeah, we're definitely missing out on smaller details here, so we need to go ahead and work on that. So let me go ahead and... We could actually go ahead and dismantle all these, and that's what we're going to do. Then I'm going to go ahead and jump into build. We're going to clear you, and we're going to clear you. Then what I'm going to do is zone you right along there. Then we're going to play the game on ×2, because I need this stuff to be done pretty pronto. I think we have a gap till about... The next flight's at 6, so passengers are going to be turning up at 4. Like now, which is a bit of an issue. So we should be able to get the gates back in, no problem. So if we fill in those small holes there, then I go ahead and... Objects. We've already got metal detectors here, so we're generally okay. We will need to get a 5th one delivered, but as long as we have some in operation, then we should be fine. So metal detectors 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then we go ahead and speed this up. The builder should come back in and just do this straight away, honestly. There we go. So staff are back in place, which is good. I do need to hire 1 more security member, though, which I'll go ahead and do there, and that works out fine. So you guys are flowing through with no difficulties at all. The next thing I want to do is go ahead and improve this area here. So I want to go ahead and add in some objects. This is going to change, though, this is going to change shortly, so I'm honestly not going to bother. I think we'll add in a second food vending machine, though, because for some reason it seems to be doing very well. I think because of the fact that we don't have a restaurant in yet, it's doing well, so that gives me the impression that I should maybe have an extra one in here. So that's going to do its job, and that should solve issues. Overnight tonight we'll solve these queue issues, because they're still not perfect at all, and we definitely need to make that modification. As well as that, we're going to extend this whole area here just a little bit further, because it really needs to be much larger, honestly. I can make this queue much better, and going forwards, everything will just work out much better. Then we can get more flights in, and then from there on, we're starting to make a good amount of money per day. We're down a little bit on profits, but only by about $2,000, give or take. These two are the final 2 flights of the day, and everyone's cleared security, so we should have everyone standing in line there, and that other plane got off without any hitch, which is good to see. So you should board, plenty of time as well, and then, yep, off you go early, which is great to see. And that, as we can see, airline interest has gone up. Passenger satisfaction's down drastically, and I think it's to do with the environments, and yeah, in general, everything's gone down. Pretty much. Bar bladder, cleanliness, and boredom, everything's on the down. Rest is getting even worse, but I need more seating areas. And how we're going to get that, ladies and gentlemen, is we're going to go ahead and add in much more foundations and make this area much larger. So there is going to be a security breach, but we're going to go ahead and expand all this here. So let's go ahead and do that. Then I want to jump in here and we want to demolish all of this. This is the best time to have a security breach, honestly, is overnight, because we don't need the area to be secure at this stage, whereas if I was to do this during the day, it's going to cancel flights and that's just going to have a knock-on effect, and you get what I mean. Right, so that's all demolished, and that means I can go ahead and jump in and add in more foundations in here, but I have to just do that. There we go. So that should solve that issue, and that should be a nice large extension, which we really need. New passengers shouldn't turn up till about 2 AM again, so I need you guys to prioritize this side over here. Can we do this? Guys, no, you're not going to prioritize outer wall, that's the problem. But at the same time, I can't cancel that because I don't get my money back, as I learned the hard way in the last episode. So there we go, yep, perfect. It's still not technically, or this inside area is secure, but this lounge isn't secure, so I don't know if this flight will get cancelled or not. Let me come up here. So it's en route. So if we're secure by 4 AM, which we won't be, then I think that flight's going to get cancelled. So that's not going to go down great with everyone at all. Outer wall, guys. Come on. Come on. Come on. Yeah, it's definitely getting cancelled. Or it's delayed. So if we get this done before 6 AM, then final okay, so it's just delayed. But that has a knock-on effect because the morning is very busy, so you need to get in and out pronto. Like, I mean pronto. You're minus... Hold up, did something out? I mean, you should have been gone by now. So the next flight coming in here should be in at 6:45. You're going to fail to reserve a gate. The en route, that's going to get cancelled. Though you might get pushed back actually, so... Delayed, fail to reserve a gate, so you're hovering. This plane should be good to go though, can you go? Because you could go into that gate. Nah. It missed out unfortunately, so that's annoying, that is really annoying. But, you know, that's what happens when you expand an airport, you go ahead and get these smaller issues. Right, well there's not a plane waiting in here, what I'm going to do is we're going to clear that stub there. Then I'm going to go ahead and, yeah, everything's a bit of a mess here, I'm not going to lie. I want to move the restrooms down a bit as well. And I want to, yeah, a lot I want to do here. Right, so let's go ahead and slow things down and break things up. So first of all, we're going to clear you. We're going to go ahead and clear that. That's going to be the first expansion, or not expansion, but the first step to this process. So less seating areas again, I know, but this has to happen. Then what I want to do is we are going to add in more benches. So we're going to add in more along here, like this, then rotate and add in more there. Have some vending machines and have a gap of 3, then add in you there, there, and there. So that's a lot more seating. And right now, because we're not using the bottom half of this, again, I still don't know if it's called a finger or if it's called what, part A of the airport. It's not a separate terminal as of now, but I can go ahead and do stuff like this as well, which is definitely going to boost my rest satisfaction because it honestly couldn't get any worse right now. It's actually at 67, so it's not even the worst, but it's because we just had a flight cancelled, so we can't really get much worse than that right now. But that should go ahead and start to install a lot more seats, which is great to see, and people should be able to sit down and rest. That is a big thing. So while all that's going on, and a little bit of frame drop, not gonna lie, it's probably quite evident as well on the video, but we are at ×3, so I'm not really, and it's a game in development as well, so it's not something to get too mad at. We're gonna put in an ATM in here because I don't think we have an ATM in this area. Then we're gonna go ahead, still don't have electronics vending in here either, so what I'm gonna do is we're gonna rotate you and stick you like that there, and that will do. So with that modification change, once this plane takes off, we're going to reroute this queue because this queue's a bit null and invalid. So you are, yeah, you should be good to go in time. We're waiting on people clearing, or maybe not. That one has gone off without a hitch, which is good. So you guys are just drifting through the queue right now, which is fine. You are missing quite a lot of people, but again, because that queue is just way too small, so we need to make a big change there. Right, so let's go ahead and jump in and... yeah, let's give this one another go. Me and queues, as we know, are not the best of friends, but it's something which I do need to go ahead and master. So let's cut this right back, and the good thing is I can go 5 deep. Probably now. 1, 2, yeah, I can come 5 deep, which is good. So what we want is we want to have the output here. Then we want to have it facing this way. So then what I want to do is I can run right along the top here. Then we're just going to swerve down like this, right along like that, and that is perfect. That is like the best queue I think I can have. I mean, I might be able to technically get it a little bit better, but that's pretty good, and I'm happy with that and how that looks. So we'll go ahead and stay. What I might do is I might shrink this a little bit actually and have like a flight information thing here. I think that's what I'll maybe cut it back a little bit more. That's an easy extension, so I can easily reverse that, and that'll make the difference. I'll need to assign that to that there so we don't have any issues, and now that should be much better. We should be able to hold much more people. And as this plane boards here, as we can see again, everyone's just standing on top of each other. A little bit unnecessary. We should be able to go ahead and modify this. You will board on time. No, there's 3 people which haven't turned up for the flight, so that's not my problem, but it's off, which is good. Again, we're into this afternoon period where we've got lots of room, so we can go ahead and make the modification which I've made over at gate A2. So let's cut you back. Let's expand not to there, definitely not there. It's 1 too close. Let's go ahead and do this that way. Cut you off. Then I'm just going to repeat the exact same queue. Unfortunately, this queue won't be as long as the other one, but it will still be okay. So we're going to have, yes, this is going to be a much shorter queue, but I'll still be able to have a... You can start there, actually, so that means we still have the necessary stuff along there, and as long as the corridors are wide enough, that's the real issue I'm worried about. But I think we should be okay there. So you're much smaller, but you're larger than you were before, which is good, so we shouldn't have too many people piling on top of each other. And with that said, I think we should be good to go ahead and go. You're assigned, right? Yeah, you're good, so that issue should be resolved, so we should hopefully see a much happier passengers going forward now, because honestly things are pretty flawless from what it looks like, but I can guarantee they're not going to be flawless, that's for sure. So we'll just go ahead and see, and the good thing is for the next episode we should be able to do some quite large expansion. We've not really achieved too much this episode, I feel. It's just been some smaller nitty gritty stuff, but I will be able to go ahead and upgrade, add in at least an extra 1 if not 2 gates maybe in the next episodes, expand ticketing and security a little bit more, because my plan is to move ticketing up so we can go ahead and extend the security hall. Eventually I want the security hall coming all the way up to here at the top end of ticketing. Ticketing will move all the way up to... Ticketing's going to be relatively small, but it doesn't need to be that large. Security is your big bottleneck, ticketing isn't, so we should be fine. As we can see, people are flying through here. Definitely want to have more ticketing kiosks in though, but that's not a big issue to resolve. It's security that's the big problem. Again, we just need more. That's the bottom line, we need more. And as we can see here, things are moving much better. You can hold 100, so it's not the best example here, but we can see that this plane over here, the Boeing 747, 119 people. Everyone was in the queue, and you have got 100 people standing and everyone's in there, so that's good. We might cut security back a little bit as we go on anyway, because I would rather do a top-down instead of left-right design to security, but we need to move security up for that to happen. Anyway, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, it is the end of day, or the start of day 18, and I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up there. So hope you have enjoyed this episode. Please leave a like, rating, subscribe if you are new around here. And that's all for this video. So thank you very much for watching. My name is ConflctNerd Callum, and I'm out.